What's good, family? We have a very exciting night tonight. We are going to speak about the gender wars and the power, the struggle, the power struggle. Who's got it? The women, the men. Tonight we have the fellas in the building. And next we'll have the females. This is a very interesting topic tonight. I want everyone to get involved. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Texas Brown Sugar. This is the Sweet Life. And I am just here to share with you my life lessons, share with you some tips and tricks, easy solutions for busy cooks, cleaning hacks. If you need it, I got it. You can reach me on Instagram and Facebook at Texas Brown Sugar. And I also have my website, texasbrownsugar.com. Make sure you hit me up on any of those platforms. I love discussion. I am here to help everyone as much as I can. I am also here to learn. So if there's anything that you'd like for me to discuss, topics that may interest you, come on through. I love to sit and talk. Now, those of you who are regulars to Texas Brown Sugar, you guys know that I always like to do a toast at the beginning of the show. So go ahead, get your cups. After I introduce the fellas, bring the fellas in to the building, we will go ahead and do our toast with them. But while I am waiting for you to get your drink of the night, I want to discuss a few current events. So, as you know, the Queen of England has passed away. I believe she reigned for 70 years. Now, there's a lot of, surprisingly, there's a lot of people who were not so sad or disappointed about her passing. And this opened my eyes to a lot. I don't know if you know, but during her reign, which 70 years is a long time, that's much longer than I've ever been living. But during her reign, there was a lot of wars and takeovers, specifically South Africa, also the Caribbean islands. And because of that, there's a lot of disconnect, some who aren't so celebratory in her life because of the damage that she has caused in those countries. I don't know, you tell me, what were your initial thoughts when Miss Queen Elizabeth passed away? Sorry to see that she had passed. At the same time, I'm a little concerned about what the future looks like with Charles. I'm not for sure if Charles is up to the job. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Is Charles up for the job? And his wife? Yeah, isn't she the side chick too? Anyway, let me know. Also, there's a TikTok that's going around that I love. And this also got mixed reviews as well, but I love this. Let's check it out first. And before I briefly talk about this.
Been taking to text this.
Oh, it took me 30 seconds, bro. You know, when your kid turns 18 and you give them a 30-day notice,
yeah, I made
you can
That's crazy.
you can type a eviction notice in like a minute or two. Oh, baby excited. He's moving out.
Yeah.
So the mother gave her son, who recently turned 18, an eviction notice. Now, she's right up my alley. I have told my children, for many years now, when you turn 18, if you are not enrolled in a school, it doesn't have to necessarily be college, some technical school, trying to apply yourself with some sort of certification, you can't be in this house. And if you are at home and you're applying yourself, going to school and certification, I gotta charge you some rent. So big shout out to the mom. I am all for it. I think we coddle these children way too much. 18, you're adult. Now, definitely, I will guide you. I will help you go apartment hunting. We'll pick out schools if you're going to school. Make sure you're in the right dorm. I will help and guide you. But at 18, baby, you got to go. I'm not about to be 70, 80 years old and you and your family living upstairs. It's not about to happen. Let me know in the comments section what your thoughts were on the mother evicting her 18-year-old. Now, she gave him 30 days too. I think that was very generous. Anyway, without further ado, let me bring the fellas into the building. I am super excited, you guys. We are going to have a really good time tonight. There are going to be a lot of questions that are going to be controversial. I need you guys to chime in. Give me your thoughts. Let's go. So let's go ahead and bring the fellas into the building. What's good, everybody? I got Iceberg Slim in the building. Who else do I have?
You got I'm just here.
J Camp, aka I'm just here.
I'm just here for the love and for the smoke. I love it.
Shout out to J Camp, hey.
Shout out J Camp.
Hey, what's up, TBS? What's going on with you?
Not much. Enjoying the fact that the Houston weather is like nice right now.
Define
when I say
nice.
nice
that.
Like low 90s.
Low 90s?
High
All
80s.
right. Okay.
You know, we got a little breeze every so often here and there.
Yeah.
I salute to that. I salute
It's
to
real
that.
nice right now.
TBS
Nice.
Les is so savage. She says she'll kick your kid out. If you turn 18 and it's 99 degrees outside,
this is the thing.
you get that eviction notice. Salute to you.
You got to go.
So
You say you get the boot.
Did the mama teach the kid anything before she?
That's what I
kicked
was
him out?
wondering.
Man,
No, that's a good
what I was
question.
wondering.
Did you help me with a trade? Did you?
He seemed
right.
surprised.
Basically, you trying to push me to the army.
Yeah, he
What it
trying
sound
to put
like
it to
me.
the
Like,
Navy, but
You know what I'm saying?
To the
And-
cash money is the army. Better yet, the
and
Navy. You better
you
get
know
up
we in
there.
interesting times. Well, you know we in interesting times. You
Very
just
true,
kick your
very
kid out,
true.
and they get drafted into some little war that we don't have nothing to do with.
Man.
Then next thing you know, you're gonna be crying. I should have let my baby go. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do it.
You're
I'm
over
telling
crying
you,
at the
what's gonna
funeral
happen.
with a T-shirt on with an airbrush on the joint.
Man, I said I would support you, help you go find it. You know what
I
I'm
hope you
saying?
get a moving van.
But you gotta go. I can't be a crutch to you.
And this is why we're here today, because if there was a father around in that situation, it might have been a little different.
I wish my mama would kick me out the crib. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man.
Deb, don't do a brother like that.
Deb ain't going.
Also,
Nah,
I
Deb
want to
ain't doing
give a big shout out to Southwest for sponsoring tonight's show.
Man,
I
We,
am
I
a
need
Southwest Rewards member too, so I salute
Yes, so
Southwest.
if you can, I put in the chat there the Southwest link to the reward points. Check them out.
Man, good
Gain a
books.
lot of points. Go
Yeah, we
traveling.
need that. Bebo, you go. You
I
get
know
your
there's a
passport,
whole bunch
Bebo.
of
Let's go.
Hey,
Good
Bebo
look.
can be his get his what?
Passport,
Be a
bro.
passport,
Man.
bro.
Yeah, let's go.
Because
That's how you-
Southwest
that's
is
how you get to
international
Jamaica.
International
now.
Gotta go to Jamaica, bro.
Bedroom bully.
Mexico.
You get the oils that you need.
Get the
you know what I'm
oil.
saying? Get your Jamaican oils.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Get it down. You know what I'm saying? Get it in.
Hey, can y'all tell who the single one is on the show?
Yeah, Bebo.
One of the single
Single,
ones on the
man. Yeah,
show.
Bebo single.
Yeah.
Not the only one.
This is like
I'm
Kendra
not
G
the
for
only
Bebo.
one.
You know what I'm saying?
Not the only
It's like
one.
Kendra G for
Stop.
Bebo. You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
What's the sign in what's the
no,
sign in your birthday?
Oh, yes.
That's exactly why I said I'm here for it, Les.
Man, we got a lot of
Yeah,
people in the
okay.
comments today. Thank y'all very much for showing up.
Salute to the comments.
Salute to the
Let's
whole
go.
team.
Let's go, man.
What's
Peace to
good?
Sack, what up? What up?
What
I
is
said
What's
you
goody?
tapped in, my G.
Tapped in
What's
all
good?
day.
India Williams.
India, what's
Hey,
happening?
Let's go,
the
man.
warranty
Indy.
on my mattress
Warranty on my mattress.
Man.
expired the same time I turned 18. My mama told me I leave the house with my mattress.
My mama told me. you
Shout
better
out.
She said
shop
that
around.
mattress got hard real quick. Like it went from soft. It went from soft to like hard. Nah, you know the mattress got a warranty on it.
And she turned my room into an office 6 months later.
Like Linda Savage, real talk.
My mom did the same. Deb did the same thing though. Even though I've been saluting her, Deb did the same. I came home from college and had a futon and everything.
Got a futon in it.
I'm like, what happened to my bed?
Harvard,
Couldn't wait.
Global House, right on the couch.
Yeah.
Right.
Very much so. Very much so. Bren said facts. I know she'll be quick.
Bren.
Hey, got to go.
What
Them
up?
Yes.
coats look bad.
And Rashad, who wasn't able to make it today.
Man, shout out
Nah, what's good, bro? What's
He's like,
happening,
what's
bro?
up,
Rashad,
team?
What's
good?
happening?
Yes,
Rashad.
sir.
Happening, Rashad?
Now, before we get into the good stuff,
The nitty gritty.
tonight, let's do a toast. What are we toasting to tonight, fellas?
We gonna
Real
just toast to unity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Unity.
Hey.
There we go.
Absolutely.
And tonight, I've got my red wine, empathy wine.
the whole bottle.
Uh-oh. Watch out.
Empathy
Oh.
wines.
She said she gonna be
This
going
is,
in. She
if
got to
you're
show some
familiar
empathy
with
tonight.
the entrepreneur Gary V. This is his
Okay.
wine.
Okay.
Gary
It's,
Vaynerchuk, yeah.
It's very good for the price
Salute
point.
to Gary V.
Very good.
That's how he actually started in the business world with his dad, I believe, in the wine business,
Yeah,
wine business
yeah.
and industry. So yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. And in the comments, shout out, let me know what you guys are drinking on. ID, what you working on it today? Iceberg Slim.
You got a little secret stash. You know what I'm saying?
Secret.
Secret stash. It might be water then.
and a $100 tumbler. You know what I'm saying?
You
We
go,
doing it big. You know what I'm saying?
fake
For
it
the,
till- fake
for
it
the
till
big
you make it,
willies. You
my
know what I'm
guy.
saying out there?
Shout
Fake
out
it till you make it.
Shout out to Fiji.
You know what I'm saying?
it
Big
till you
Willie
make it.
style. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Right.
Bebo, what you working with tonight?
Little body
Go ahead,
armor.
Bebo.
How you doing?
Go ahead, Bebo.
Stop. we just got a little bit of that sweet life in here, that body armor.
Oh man.
Pause,
Yeah,
pause.
yeah.
Pause to the
right.
sweet
You gotta-
life.
Pause. Right.
Sweet life.
Pause. Extra pause.
Stop.
Right.
Sweet life.
You might need that Southwest stop for that.
Right.
Right.
Oh, stop.
Right.
Hey, link.
Real love.
Link in the comment.
Wow. Y'all wild. Y'all wild.
Jammer, what you got?
I got hometown boys all the time. Pause. Bro brothers, you know.
Man, shout out to the
I
bros.
stick to KY. Saluted
Okay.
bourbon all day
Why?
long.
All right. No jelly.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
Yeah, that
Rashad
frosty.
Nah.
said the whole bottle.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was just trying to
got that.
show y'all.
Amber Heard now, that
You
bottom
got
of the bottle.
Right.
She got that.
Stop
she got
it.
that. I'm gonna kick my 18-year-old out right now after this show. Type
Basically.
of bottle.
Mhm.
Right.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
She's got that no empathy drink right now.
No.
No empathy,
Word.
Wayne.
Basically.
Hey, y'all go ahead and support Texas Brown
Subscribe, hit the
Sugar.
like button. Let's
Go ahead
Subscribe,
and
hit that
support
like,
our
Yeah.
sister.
Yes.
Yeah,
hit that
man.
Cash
notification
app, put the
bell.
cash app
Go ahead
down
and
there too.
Man, make sure y'all rock with TBS.
And I know
Hit
y'all
the
gonna
notification
get
bell.
some good information, ladies. Y'all gonna learn a lot, fellas. Y'all gonna learn a
All from
lot.
Jammer.
Make sure you do hit that
Stop
like
it.
button and subscribe.
That's right.
Because we are always dropping the mic, giving you those gems.
Mm-hmm.
So, fellas, y'all know it's a lot going on with the black men and the black women.
Indeed.
Facts.
First question. Is there a gender war between the black man and the black woman? And if so, why?
Hilton.
There's been a gender war going on between both sexes for the last several decades, to say the least. I mean, more notably since this thing called, feminism began to uproot itself maybe during the 60s, where you had like the U.S. government, offering assistance to women, money and resources in exchange for the man to not be in the household. And even to the point where you had the Social Security staff go into the homes to make sure not only the man wasn't in the house, but nothing like objects, anything like that was inside.
Where
that
the
served
shoes
proof
at?
of it. So you have factors like that, several factors really. We could, and again, there's many different things we could point to the over hypeness, so to speak, of the education system, and how certain individuals seem to post that as a trophy of worship more so than the importance of the family structure. You have the industrial prison complex, the crack era, things of those natures took place as well. But I mean, if we were going to fast forward to today, we could just simply point at social media and how that's caused individuals to exercise more vanity and more focus on self, as opposed to the importance of what could be enriched within a couple and a relationship structure. So you got factors of that nature. You have entertainers and actors and actresses and musicians pushing a narrative that suggests division. And I don't need this person or I don't need that person. While they go home to their nuclear families. So we have several different dynamics that come into play. You really can't point it to one particular branch, because they all stem from the same tree trunk, so to speak, which is from the dominant society, so to speak. But hope that covers it in a nutshell from my perspective.
You can shut the whole show down. Like, it's done. It's
Basically,
we done. It's dun dun
basically
dun
what
dun.
you did.
Dun,
You put your pink kufi on real quick. I think you was gonna break.
Why
it
I gotta
out
be
that
pink
fast.
though?
Man, you just
Oh man.
Put the coof on.
Cameron with the kufi, man.
Okay. I might be able to do a camera on one, maybe, but
Yeah.
stop.
So, in a nutshell, there is a war.
There's definitely a war,
Yeah.
but to me, it starts with if we want to be 100, it starts with white supremacy. At the end of the day, like if you basically keep a black man and a black woman separated, that's more bills for them to pay.
Absolutely.
There's no leadership in the household. Most of my
Absolutely.
guys are married, so I see what they do in their families, and I also see the ones that don't have a father in the household, and how sometimes they struggle because they have to play good cop and bad cop all the time. So at the end of the day, if they can keep us separated, I mean, that's the only thing we had back in the day is being unified. You watch Good Times, you know what I'm saying? That's all we had.
Man,
Yep.
You know what I'm
struggle was struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I agree with both of y'all. Definitely elements of what BOP was saying and what you said too, Iceberg. White supremacy definitely fabricated this power struggle that we have in the black family structure now, because they did it economically. You know what I'm saying? They pushed these economic factors on us, and then they sold us on things that we would see on TV. You know what I'm saying? How, women, you got to be the most educated person in the household. You have the power. Men, you got to go out here and be government, all you can be. They fabricated all these loopholes to separate us and to bridge those gaps. And like Iceberg said, I mean, I know when my grandparents came up, that was unity. It didn't matter what the role was.
Was.
You know,
Mhm.
my grandmother took care of 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? She held it down. My grandfather worked, had his own concrete business. There was no beef.
Exactly.
Facts.
We all
Exactly.
made it. You know what I'm saying? So, because we all understood the end goal is to make sure that we get this family straight. Because we didn't have hand me down money. You know what I'm saying? Like black folks didn't,
Right.
we didn't have it like that.
We
Mhm.
didn't.
So, and once again, white supremacy, once they seen us to start to kind of get it up here, they start knocking off our, you know what I'm saying, our leadership. So I think
Yes.
that whole power struggle thing was created to bridge those gaps between men and women.
And
You,
really,
So
you, you,
is
you got to tip that cap to them because they did a masterful
They did
job.
a
'Cause
masterful
did.
job.
they
it's
did.
working on the mo-
Masterful job,
And
man.
that's yes, and that's what I meant by the tree
What
trunk.
they advertising
That's
on
white
TV
supremacy is the tree trunk. Everything else,
is poison.
served as branches that affected our
Yep.
community first and always targets us first. So
We took the
absolutely.
poison pill off top. We
And
took the poison
oftentimes
pill.
we are still receiving the poison pill.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
so is
Yep.
the scope of the war just blacks, or do we see other races having this war as well?
Well, it always starts with black people.
Hmm.
It always, or for the most part, it starts it either first starts with black people or the primary target is Black America.
If you look at how much money we're bringing in, man, like we're the best customers ever. So if
Yes.
you ever
Absolutely.
if we ever stop being customers, some people would shut down. You know what I'm saying?
Because
Like
they
a lot
know
of
if we
industries
just
are
buy
shut down.
black, if we
Period.
just listen to black, like this
Mhm.
platform, it's gonna change people's whole mindset.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
There
the,
you
the
have
gender
that.
wars, the gender wars fabricated, man, and honestly, it's really in all of our heads. Like
It's
J. Camp said, we took that
exactly.
pill, and it's in our head. Like, oh man, well, I got to have this amount of money to get this kind of woman. If that was the case, then my uncle, my mom, and dad would have never met. You know what I'm saying? They never would have got together. They got
Exactly.
together
Right.
off of love, sacrifice, and honor, and duty, and legacy. So again, tonight, first of all, shout out to the ladies you had on here the other night.
ladies
India,
in
Ab-
waiting.
Tony,
Absolutely.
Janetta,
They killed it.
Christy, Brenda.
They killed
We
it.
got to salute them. They killed the
Absolutely.
game. And honestly, the sad part is I'm in my 40s and we don't see a lot of women like that who actually want to get married,
Mm-mm.
who want to have a legacy. Because again, I understand the modern women right now. They're like, yo, if I get with a dude right now, I don't get to cash out. I spent
It's
100,000 on my degree, and you want me
TikTok culture,
to
man.
be with you? Like,
Right.
man,
And
I don't get no
yeah.
payday.
Correct. And it's funny you say that because everything that we're talking about, at least as far as like what stems from white supremacy, again, from the 60s to current date, the dominant society and corporate think tanks, they've instituted enticing incentives targeted to Western women and it's become global as well. But in order to have, in order for them to look at their men or husbands differently to the point where they're not even seen as somebody who's valuable to them anymore, or at least holds less value than he once did prior to that time frame. And really, you could go back to the buck breaking instances that were taken or that were happening during slavery. We can even go before the 60s, with Willie Lynch and so
Hmm.
forth. But I don't want to dive too deep into
Yeah.
those weeds. But it goes back from when we were in bondage here.
Yeah. I mean, I would even say too, Bebo, just when you look at it from the whole like church perspective, like we used to be taught to be equally yoked, men and women. We was
Right.
always that's in the
Right.
Bible. When you take your vows with a woman, you're told to
Facts.
be equally yoked. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like
Yes.
I'm not saying like Bonnie and Clyde type, we gonna rob a bank type stuff. I ain't saying that. But when I say equally yoked, I'm talking about mentally equally yoked.
J.
You know what
Camp
I'm saying?
Dillinger.
You know,
Nah, I
But
I
feel
feel
you.
like
I think that's the
now
whole point too. If I can say that this person makes 100, but this person makes 30, they're not financially equally yoked. So okay, I can't be with him because he don't have enough money. But the whole point is, if you really
that man might
understand
hold it down.
what
That
facts, and then
30K dude
also
might be holding it down.
right, and honestly, what most men can bring to the table has nothing to do with money.
Nah.
Then the other thing is, if you're a single woman and you're independent, why would money matter when you already have your money? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think speaking from the female perspective, I think a lot of women feel that if you are in that higher financial bracket, that we are more equally yoked
No.
because your mindset is at that higher financial status. Like the drive, we know you
Yeah.
got the drive. We know that
I see what you're saying.
We see what you're saying,
But,
but like,
but I
we
think
see
that
what you're saying.
mentality is pushed, and that's what we saying. To me, that's what they pushing out there.
I can
further
understand that, but does that
drop
help
them
your kid
wedges.
at that parent teacher conference? Does that money help? Does it help when you have to talk to your kids about certain things, or to get out of certain situations, or to deal with certain things? To me, I know men who literally just want to teach. They just want to. They all they care about is their passion. So that passion doesn't make a lot of money. So
Does
that
it-
also
Does it emasculate men when the woman makes
No.
more
No,
than
no,
the man?
not at all.
no, not at all. This is the thing.
That's a
Most
misnomer.
women don't even spend that money on the men, so we don't even care about your money. You're not gonna spend it on us anyway.
Right.
It's your money.
It's
Hey,
just,
like
real talk.
Beyonce said,
I mean, to
she
me,
might
that-
take
that
you to
type of
Red
thing is irrelevant.
Lobster.
Nah, we good.
yeah, how much she makes to me is always been irrelevant. I mean, it should be irrelevant
right,
both ways.
A man can go into McDonald's and see a beautiful woman and say, "Hey, you mine? Come on, we gonna start our own McDowell's." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, RX said water seeks its own level. Western women not for marriage. Passport.
Gotta take a sip. Hold up. The sponsor Southwest, by the way. Get your tickets.
Ladies,
Southwest.
ladies,
Somebody
chime
jump in. Somebody
Yeah,
jump
if
in.
you thick on Southwest, you need 2 seats. You know what I'm saying?
Man, somebody.
If you thick 'em,
if,
you know what I mean?
if you got a blowtorch, you better blowtorch that state.
Oh,
Because
I mean,
it was some facts dripping.
Oh,
in
so
there.
hold on. Let me say this. Let me say
Little
this about the
bit.
gender war before you go on. There is a gender war, but it's over with. And men are
okay,
sitting,
so that's what I was going to get to is we're seeing a lot of women waving the white flag.
Facts.
And tomorrow's live stream, we're going to deep dive into this with the whole soft life.
I'm watching it.
A lot of people say they capping, they being chameleons. I think there is some truth to that, and they are waving their flags because they tired. That's a lot of work to do by yourself.
Who created those situations for themselves?
Now, we didn't get into all of that. I mean, we can. That is definitely for tomorrow's topic.
Well, let me
But
say
you-
this. Again,
Yes.
there is a gender war, but it's over with. So like, remember there was like when the Civil War was going on, it took a while for them to figure out the war was over. So the war is over.
Juneteenth.
Most men are sitting at the table waiting to negotiate, and people are still shooting each other in the streets. It's over with for us. We understand, hey man, there's some things that we got to fix. There's some things we have to update because we're not dealing with women like our mothers. So we're waiting at the table wanting to negotiate, and other people say, "Nah, I'm not even. Nah, I'm good. Soft life. I'm about to do my own thing."
Yeah, you said the key thing there is being at the table. You know what I'm saying? It's not a contractual situation. This is more of a olive branch. We need to unify a situation because the war is over. Like he said, I mean, there is no more war.
yeah.
There is.
Most
we
women want to prove a point that I don't need to come to the table.
The point don't
Correct.
need to be proved. We just need to come down and hash out these ideology differences and
So you
unify.
guys are ready to come to the table and
been at the
ready to
table.
negotiate.
You've been at the table.
we've been at the table watching the dust collect. Yep.
So you're saying that the war is over. Are you saying there's a winner?
It's not about winner.
Most
Who
wars never
wins is
have a
not-
winner.
Yeah, it's about
somebody always,
Somebody
always
even
take
the
an L.
winner loses. There's always casualty.
always
Both sides
casualty.
have casualty.
Yeah.
right,
So there's no real dub here.
right.
Okay.
This thing, you know who lost? You know who lost in this gender war?
Who is that?
The children.
Yep.
Because now you have
Facts.
children without the father in the household. The mother's depressed. The father has to deal with rejection. Most men are like rejection. They just get rejected all the time. You know, women think men have an easy life. Oh, you guys can do whatever you want. We get rejected every day. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that women don't, but again, a woman's ideology on earth is to keep you're born with value. Your whole thing is not to lose it. Don't get with a loser. Don't have babies with loser dudes. Don't get in loser situations. Don't get on that pole and start twisting. For men, we don't have any value when we come into the world. We got to earn it. We got to get the degree. We got to get $800 credit score. We got to get the nice truck. We got to wear the nice clothes. We got to talk the right things so we can get the women that we want. Because
we have
again,
to
like
be
you said,
competitive.
we got to be competitive. We got to be lions out here.
Yes.
We got to kill.
Dog eat dog.
Yeah. So we gotta earn our value. Your women have to just keep it. But what happens is in your 40s and your 30s, you're like, oh, well, society told me to have this phase where I get to basically do what I want. But a lot of women kind of they get tore up in that phase, and then they have children in that phase, or they have a lot of bad issues and drama in that phase, and then they come out like, hey man, I hate men because these two dudes I met in the club. They did this to me, and now I hate all men. It's like, dude, you where was when the Russell Wilson dude came up to you in your 20s? Did you want him?
No,
they wanted Pop, and I ain't mad.
They wanted Future, they wanted Future, and all that.
I ain't mad at it.
Now you want Russell Wilson in your 30s, and now Russell's like, man, I'm going over to Brazil, my G.
Right.
And the stats kind of show that too. Like that, it said that around the bottom 20% of individuals who are selected for procreation is who's generating the children, is leading the top 80.
Better quote your source. Somebody fact check you.
BlackDemographics.com.
Look, Google's everybody's best friend.
I'm just saying, somebody is listening.
You can go to BlackDemographics.com. While you're watching this, go to BlackDemographics.com on your phone and check it out.
Salute to Bebo though, man. That was a good stat, bro. I was just teasing you, man.
I know.
What's your thoughts though, TBS?
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear your rebuttal to what Iceberg.
Because you're speaking for all women right now. All the women throwing bananas and tomatoes at the screen. Like, I hate those guys.
So
Jamaica done turned off access to Bebo.
Stop. Stop.
You're not getting in here.
You said that in Call Southwest.
Don't let that dude in here. That's on that TBS show.
Right.
So when it's been pumped into you that men do not depend on a man.
Who told you that?
In my instance, it was my father. My father told me
I'm about to call
that
your
he
dad.
did not want me to depend on a man. And that I needed to be able to sustain myself. And I think that is because of his situation. His father died when he was really young and left his mom with a gang of children. And so my father had to step up and financially and physically care for his siblings until my stepfather, until our step-grandfather stepped in. And so I think that is what prompted my dad to be like, hey, I don't want you to have to depend on a man. I want you to be able to sustain for yourself should something happen. What he missed was, yes, be able to be sufficient and care for yourself, and when that man comes in your life and you're ready to settle, have open arms and be ready to pivot. That was the hardest part, being able to pivot. And I think that's where most women are at right now. They've been told they don't need to depend on a man. And that now they're at a point where they don't know how to pivot into wanting a man because it's been so long for them that they haven't had a man.
Women want a man, but they want Gaston. They don't want the beast. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you want to do in the club that everybody wants. You want Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
I mean, why can't we shoot for the stars?
Because he got options. He got them girls hanging on him.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's Gaston for a reason. So y'all go out and try to. This thing, most women are taught they do want a man, but they want a power couple. Power couples don't exist.
They don't. And here's the other thing.
Nah, you got to want Aladdin. Aladdin is a dude out there getting it out the mud.
Yeah, he came out the
You know what I'm
mud.
saying?
He got it
And
out
he's
the mud.
grinding.
Yeah.
Yep. And here's the
And
other-
that genie's God. He had God on his side. You know what I mean? So,
Facts. Go
but
ahead,
again,
D-Bo.
like I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting what you want. The whole thing is you got to understand, like most women are not good at chess. You know what I'm saying? Chess is about consequences. So whatever you want, you got to understand there's consequences to it.
Because
You know what I'm saying? So you can want what you want,
you
but
end up with Nick Cannon when you start playing chess out here.
Cannon.
Oh.
And again, with chess, we got to understand. Hold up, with chess, we got to understand the queen can move the most on the board. She's the most powerful. But when
there's that 20% range, by
go.
the way.
Yeah.
Like in
And,
the
and
graphic.
RX, hey, thanks for coming through, RX.
As we
RX,
said,
good.
as we were
Hey,
saying,
Wow.
yeah.
What's good?
17%
Come with it.
of
And
the
he said Nick Cannon too.
Nick
so he-
Cannons
Yeah.
having all the fractured families.
RX, keep dropping
That's
them jewels. Keep dropping them throughout the show, man.
Rashad said Gaston will play you and all the others just for fun.
That's
Well,
why you gotta get
Well,
Aladdin. You know what I'm
hey.
saying? Aladdin's out here grinding.
It just
Yeah,
goes
he
to what
did.
Iceberg was saying. Every choice has consequences. And, the thing is, I think it's hard for most people, namely women, as time passes to accept those
Namely.
consequences. Well, yeah, namely women. And I say just not from a personal viewpoint standpoint, from
you.
a viewpoint stance, but as time passes, a man's value increases in the dating marketplace and the opposite takes place for women. So,
can't
when
say
you look
that,
at it like
Bebo.
that,
I mean, but we grew.
It's already said.
We were
It's already
starting to grow up into this microwave generation where, as soon as we graduate, or as soon as we're get out of high school and start dating, we are expecting everybody to be here. Not
That's
Well,
where the hood
what's
realizing that
Go ahead, J-Cam.
it's a gradual increase to get
And
to that point.
That's my point. That's my point.
I was going to say that's kind of like the drawback of like the elite collegiate woman who feels that if I go through school and have all these titles when I'm done, I'm gonna be able to get this and that type of man, and
Drop
then
a
you
bomb for
end
that.
up that ain't out there. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes, man, we can be hoodwinked into that thinking because we're sold on it. I mean, you just said, you know what I'm saying? You have this vision. You know what I'm saying? You think you end up kissing the frog. Then that might be your prince. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
and the thing is, like when it comes to that vision is oftentimes pushed on a lot of society.
It's
So
pushed.
that's
it's fabricated.
where,
That's the
yeah,
whole
it's
fabrication
fabricated.
thing
And
we
when
were
you
talking about earlier.
realize, hey, wait a second, I've been hoodwinked. Even though my parents or whoever taught me, they might have had good intentions, maybe not. Maybe they're in competition with the daughter or whatever. It's oftentimes either too late or it's dang near close to it. And it's very hard to make the climb the deeper you are into the status quo narrative. So
Absolutely.
Well, let's be clear. You ask the average black woman on a college campus, do you want the guy that's in STEM that's going to be coming out being a chemical engineer, a chemist, you know what I'm saying, a nuclear physicist? Do you want him? He's 5'5". Do you want him? And then maybe in 5 years he's going to probably make about 200,000. Or do you
like
want
Peter
the
Parker.
6'6" football player, quarterback, but he's going to have a leg injury though, and then he's going to be working at Costco?
You want Peter Parker?
I mean,
you
at
want
that
Brian?
age, we want fun. We want to have fun.
yeah,
So-
Cindy
but-
Lauper
so-
said that, right?
Yeah, City Lauper said that too. But then what's that doing in the community though?
You end
How's
up with
that
Nick
helping the
Cannon.
community?
When you want to have fun, you end up with Cannon. That's what happens.
RX, he is going. She
He's
is going
going-
into nine.
Man, where's they cash?
I'm
app at?
assuming it's a man because of the passport comments.
Salute.
Yeah. Women want food, wisdom, and something pretty.
Yeah,
Uh,
serpent's greater than the saint. Yeah, all day long. So if you understand that Bible, my mom always said, if you want to know anything, go in that Bible. You want to see some
Absolutely.
drama, you want to see murder, you want to see
Yep.
love, go in that Bible.
Yeah,
All you're
right
doing,
there.
if you
In there.
understand that Bible and understand biblical
Everything is in
principles,
there.
you don't have to be no super duper Christian and going to church every day. Just read your Bible.
Nah, that's the
Everything's
whole
going on
equally
now.
yoked.
has already happened in that Bible
It's in
already.
there. It's in
Facts.
there
The whole
to some
equally
shape, form, or
yoked thing.
fashion. Yep.
Facts.
How-
I think
how many-
India and Christy was saying that last time on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So how many relationships can last if only one person in that family knows the Bible? Even a hint of it. They typically don't work out. That's what that whole
that's-
And let's be
yoked
clear,
concept
when
comes
we
in.
had COVID, you could go to the strip club, but you couldn't go to church.
Facts.
So
Facts.
again, that's another way to kind of keep. If you look at most relationships, they ended during COVID because women got put a mirror to themselves. Our society put the women to a mirror to women, which is basically your phone.
A lot of
Your phone is your
self-reflection.
mirror. And so when you put that, when you basically you're in a relationship with your phone, not your dude. And then the phone and the media saying, hey man, you know you better than your guy, right? You know, if you really got out here, you could do better, right? Man, get rid of that dude, man. Go to Sephora, get that makeup, get popping, get the BBL, you know what I'm saying? And get another dude. But again, how's that working out? What's the results of that? What's the consequences from that?
Now, I don't want to. We can go on and on for about this.
On and on and on.
But I want to go ahead and end the question: are we in a gender war? And you know, if so, why? And Iceberg said it's over with.
It is
You
over.
guys agree
It's over.
that you guys are willing to come to the table.
It needs
And
to be
so I want to end this question with a excerpt from the infamous Kevin Samuels.
Last year, the gender war is over. After a war is over, there's a winner and a loser. Okay? Women lost. 26% marital rate in the black community. 8 out of 10 children, 8 out of 10 kids being born out of wedlock. Women, you lost. So you have to sit down at the table first and admit defeat with your mouth. And then admit defeat with your actions, or else what other group of men are you going to build with? And if you can't humble yourselves to understand that your men are more valuable than just in the bedroom and at the bank, who's going to replace us? Because that's the core of the community, the nuclear family. And marital filings were up in every community in 2019 and 2020, except for ours, they were down.
All right. Taking that video and moving on to the
That's
next
powerful,
question.
by the way. Just off that, that's powerful.
So Kevin Samuels, let's just say he started advocating for men.
He did.
A lot of women don't like his tone, I myself, or his talking points. But since he's passed away, do you believe that what he was saying about modern women is true? Or do you disagree with what he was saying about modern women?
First off, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Most people say he started the conversation, but I believe he brought the defense of black men to the mainstream audience once his viral average at best clip, did just that and popularized him thereafter. He took the torch of, going viral and being a content creator, and he brought light the talking points that many others started years ago prior to him. You've had Shahrazad Ali saying a lot of the same things, Patrice O'Neal saying a lot of the same things, but it would only go but so far, along with others. And because he did just that without taking any attitude from the females that mind you called into his show, that's really what they didn't like about him. The tone, I mean, nobody complains about the tone whenever the doctor says that you have cancer or your transmission's broken, but it's a.
But he's not yelling, "You got cancer, ninja."
Well, they're calling into a show,
Yeah.
and he's not yelling, like you said, he's not yelling and disrespecting him, like, for the most part. So, he was trying to help the black community the best way he knew how, and he didn't back down from their sign language, what he called shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. His talking points were and are backed by the stats to prove the state of the black community, along with having black males realize and understand their value in the dating marketplace. And that's something else that a lot of folks didn't like and still don't like, because the status quo, individuals, other folks who talk about 90-day rules and whatnot, how's that been working out for the stats?
And I think too, Les, is we have to separate passion from disrespect. Like, I personally felt Kevin Samuels was just very passionate about moving the black family forward.
Yeah.
And not continuing to destroy the black family, because he understood the black family was structure, and keeping it intact was what was going to ultimately push black people forward.
I think Kevin also. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Jim.
No, I was just going to say sometimes, things can be handled a little more tactfully, but I still feel you have to understand a man's passion about something and love for something versus being disrespect. Because at the end of the day, when we talk to our kids, sometimes we get passionate. Clean up your damn room. You know what I'm saying? We get we don't mean it like that, but we can be more tactful saying clean up your. I told you, but when you passionate about something, that's how it comes out sometimes.
I think Kevin also understood that the road to fixing the black culture goes through black women. So he did it with black men, but then you find out that black men don't have no power. We have none. So if a cop goes to an Indian or Asian home, he asks for the father of the house, the man of the household. If you go to a black family's house, where's the mom at? So our families are normally matriarchal. So to fix things, it has to go through Big Mama. It can't go through Big Papa. Big Papa don't have no power. He go back here, he works, come home and get a beer, lays down, go back to work. But the household is ran by that mama. So you got to fix things through the women. We have no power in the household. If you go to a child custody court, go there and find out who got power.
I agree that's what it's right now. And if you know that, you also know that women, we are emotional creatures. Mm-hmm. So why not come to us as such?
Because it hasn't worked for many decades of other people who has done that. That hasn't worked.
And you think this is working?
Well, I mean,
I think it has.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the results. There's people who were getting engaged, who got married because of that hard pill that was difficult to swallow. At the BET Awards, say what you want, he was recognized. I don't know if it was the awards, but it was some type of BET show. What was it, early this year or something like that? They gave him recognition. Yeah. So and he was just, I mean, his message resonated for the benefit of the black community. The results did show it in the examples that I just stated. Heck, you even got Bishop T.D. Jakes talking.
Yeah.
What is he saying?
He said, we're raising women to be masculine.
Yes, we're raising our women to be men. Same talking points that Kevin pushed to the forefront.
And I think too, Vivo P, like sometimes accountability has to be hard. Sometimes love has to be
even for men, man. It's hard for us,
man, because you got to because we take it on the chin. Facts. Like for cats to get locked up, that's one of the toughest pills to swallow.
Right.
We've taken it on the chin for a long time. So accountability has been something we've been forced to wear harshly. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes in order to get a point across, you got to push it a little forcefully. I'm not saying that you got to grab somebody by the arm and do it, but we got to have that tough conversation. Coaching.
And I think just from a lifestyle standpoint, anytime you have severe detriments against your people for quite some time, I'm talking about decades, centuries, what have you, it's not just going to take something real soft and real quick, to make that turnaround. It's going to take discipline. Like even when you go to the military, what do you first undergo?
You go to boot camp.
Boot camp. Is boot camp cute? It's not cute at
it's
all.
to divide the weak.
Is to divide the weak from the strong, from those who are mentally and eventually get physically disciplined to undergo the next steps. And that's what we have to do with our people. Oftentimes, it's, again, like J Camp indicated, it's not a means to go overboard with
Nah.
some level of fierceness that is going to be extreme against our people. But
Yeah,
we need
accountability is tough. It's hard.
accountability is
Sometimes,
tough.
sometimes it's
And
hard to
let's be
swallow.
clear. Black men are dissected every day on TV and music.
At the
every day.
job,
We're
at the
at
9 to
job.
5.
We're
You know what
dissected
I'm saying?
every day. We're put under the microscope every day. I'm not saying black women haven't done that either.
Yeah.
But
Right,
at the end of the day, women are put on this mother goddess, earth, you're a queen, sea moss, you're lovely, beautiful.
Right.
You can be 400 pounds and nobody can talk about you. But if you're a man that makes 40,000, we can dish you. If you are genetically short, we can dish you. You can't even change that. You can change your weight. You can't change your height. But again, we put a lot. We've almost spoiled our society's basically using that mirror that the serpent used on Eve to say, "Hey, man, you're really the star. Really you're the not the kids. F the kids. F him too. It's you. And what you need to do is get your own house, get your own car, and go on vacations. That's how you need to basically look at your life. And that you see what's happening as a result of that. All the stuff you're seeing on World Star is because of the breakdown of the home. We're not blaming women at all. The whole point is legacy. And if you start making decisions off legacy, then half the stuff wouldn't be going on.
I'll say this too to the question of Les. I know you said you're going to talk about this more tomorrow. When I say this, I mean the soft life stuff. But isn't that a portion of what it is that Kevin talked about? Friendly and being cooperative. I know there's a camouflage element to it, which is the foundation of that, soft girl era thing. But it's still somewhat of a derivative from what Kevin's messaging put out there or propagated to a lot of people. So it's not only modern women that are still and have gotten affected in a positive way, whether that be relationships, engagements, marriage, what have you, or heck, maybe even just simple networking. But it's also been Black men that have been benefiting and and it's more comfortable for both Black men and women to have these conversations and express these talking points. Now, not so much with us per se, but just amongst a lot of others out there, because it wasn't okay to say that, to state what the worth is between both sexes. It wasn't okay to say what the terms and the conditions are in the dating marketplace. It wasn't okay to say certain things of that nature. You're just supposed to stay within the status quo and, like you said, worship your spouse and happy wife, happy life, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and yet and this isn't just us. Look at the stats. Look at the marital stats. How's that working? How's all that been working after so many years? So yeah, Kevin definitely changed the landscape of society when it comes to topics of relationships.
And we're not saying that, or at least for me, but I know J Camp and Bebo for over 20 years. We don't agree with everything Kevin said. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
but that's not the point. The point is to start the conversation, to start getting our community back. Because when we were younger kids, man, we was in church 4 or 5 times a week.
Man,
that was our basketball tournaments,
and
that was our talent shows. That's where you learn how to sing.
Everything.
That's where you learn how to get your that's where you.
Yeah.
Where's the single ministries nowadays? You know what I'm saying? How many weddings are your churches really focusing on and getting people together, and not just because they want more tithe money, because this person was in a relationship and it was bad, but hey, this dude's over here, he's working.
Right.
Hey, he may not be the bald head dude on the Tyler Perry movie, but hey, man, the dude, he's a good dude. He can grind.
Exactly.
I know he's gonna love them kids. Boom, here you go. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's
again,
what
it's
we
not
learned
about
about
love.
it.
It's about keeping the community together. And right now, we have no community at all, in my opinion.
Nah.
Right. But Kevin did bring more awareness to it in a sincere but significant way. So there
Well,
you have that.
Iceberg, you made a great, I guess, transition into another question I wanted to ask you. Speaking of the community, what would what would you like black men and black women to start compromising so that we can bring the black community together? Because as I've stated in several other live streams, that I believe the devil is here to kill, steal, and destroy the
Yes.
family, aka the community,
Community.
through division. And he's
Yeah.
doing a very good job of it through social media.
Right.
So what do you guys think that we should compromise? Because you said you want us to come to the table, and I understand that I'm not going to get 100% of what I want. Some people may disagree, and they
there you
won't
go.
100%. But I understand that in order to come to the table with you guys, I am going to have to compromise. So what is it that you would like to see the men and the women compromise on?
First of all, I
Compromise.
think
Go
Jay
ahead.
like, let's be clear. One of the only dudes that I love, as far as like he's my relationship goal, dude, is Jay Kemp. Jay Kemp, like he has a great marriage. He's a great father. I've never met his wife, but she must be a godsend. You know what I'm saying? Because Jay Camp's happy. You know what I'm saying? Like he always comes in happy. So to me, whatever Jay Camp is doing, like that's what me and Bebo kind of strive to get. So like Jay Camp's the best person to answer that.
I would say, man, the biggest key is coming to the table and agreeing on sacrifice,
Bars.
accountability. Because I mean, I'll just kind of give a little bit of story about my situation. But when I decided to move away from my hometown and move to Florida, that was a sacrifice my wife had to make. She didn't have to. She didn't have to do that at all. She could be like, "Nah, I love my family," and she does. Her heart is at home. She really wanted to stay home, but she was like, "I know this is gonna make him happy," and I had to make some promises there too. Again, when we talk about coming to the table, we came to the table. I set goals and we agreed on goals. Like, look, if these don't work, we'll head back. I said, but these are the goals that we need to make and the steps that we're gonna take to make sure that we can be that we can sustain a healthy marriage, but also sustain being away from home, being away from family. So sacrificing is one of the biggest things that you have to make as a couple. Men and women have to sacrifice. Like you said, Les, you said a key thing. We're not always gonna get what we want. Because even when I came here, there's still things that I wanted that I had to say, well, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to give up something. You know what I'm saying? So coming to the table means we have to give up something. It's negotiating and agreeing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, family rises above all. Once you agree to do things as a unit, we can keep it moving. We can keep that lane going. But you have to be able to sacrifice. And that's what she did, and that's what we both did for a greater good. Because we want to win. You know what I'm saying? Because we got goals. If you don't set goals as a unit, as a couple, you never gonna survive. You just not.
Facts.
You can't be in a marriage and wing it. That don't work.
Agree.
But what people are teaching younger men and women to say, hey man, like, this dude is worth it. Like this dude is worth sacrificing for. Like you guys are going to win if you guys just sit down and talk. And honestly, that's what most men want. Like sex is one thing, but man, you get with somebody that can compromise with you, work with you, understand your vision, you understand even theirs. I mean, dude, you just built a legacy. Like it's a family tree. You know what I'm saying? And then also now every day, this, a kid, if you have one kid or two, whatever, that kid gets to see two people figuring out
They
things
see that.
together. You know what I'm saying? A man and a woman figuring out something. That's huge in the household.
Yep.
And
So
when
is
you
there
both
anything
understand
that
it
you-
ain't easy, that you got to work. Like marriage takes work. You got to. I mean, even my parents, who's been together for almost 40 plus years, well, almost 50 years now. They used to tell me all the time. I see my parents argue all the time, but then at the end of the day, dap up, hug, you know, a little smooch,
We still
keep
together.
and keep it pushing. But it takes work though. Like you just can't, you know what I'm saying, put a ring on somebody's finger and think, oh, now that we married, we good. No, you always gonna have to compromise. You always gonna have to work. It's a job. Not saying it's a bad job or a hard job. It's a job being able to say, because things change, everything evolves. The longer we go through life, the more it's going to change. It's going to be something that's going to come in between us that we have to be able to work around things. It's just the way it's the way relationships work. Whether it's your job, whether you're with your spouse, you have to be able to evolve with it. That's how it works.
Facts.
Indeed.
Bebo, is there anything that you are not willing to compromise on?
Is there anything that I'm not willing to compromise on?
Yeah.
I ain't changing my last name. That's what be.
Dash Hoffenpfeffer.
Oh man.
Dash Hoffenpfeffer.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hassenpfeffer. Oh man. No, I will not compromise my stance as leader and provider and everything that comes with being a man. And what I see a lot of modern day relationships, even though a lot of guys, they start as betas and they dive deeper into that fold, into that mold. I'm not here to, diss them, but I'm not going to become less of a man for your wants or your desires. Not going to happen. Why? It's not ego driven. It's for the betterment of our culture.
The betterment.
You
And
can't.
see, Bebo,
Go ahead, brother.
now you say that because HT2 swims in that same exact lane. He's like, I'm not giving up these pants. That ain't happening.
It's not happening.
I'm gonna have my plane. I'm gonna be Tuskegee Airman. I'm not giving that up. You know what I'm saying? So I salute, because that's how my pops is too. That's sometimes, man, you got to be still sharp still, man. You got to learn from an OG who understands that, man. The family dynamic is everything, man, and the man has to hold it down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, with a lot of modern women, we're in more modern times, they believe that we can have a relationship where it's 50-50.
Well, how's that working statistically?
Well, the other thing too, if you want 50-50, then here's this tire. Go change it real quick.
Correct.
While I sit in the house.
Correct. Hey, somebody's breaking in the house, dear. Go ahead and handle that.
Go ahead and handle that. Go get the Louisville Slugger and go knock that dude out.
I checked on the noise last 2 weeks ago or something like that. Now it's your turn. I hear the door breaking. Honey, it's your turn. 50-50, right?
You sure you want 50-50? Because what happens with the women who are kind of a little headstrong and they don't really trust men to lead the household, they end up picking beta males. But then what happens when they need them to step up and be a true alpha, that dude is basically hiding behind the curtains.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or he doesn't have the tool, he doesn't have the mindset or the vision to actually take the family to the next level.
Correct.
Like Jay Kim understood, to take it to the next level, I got to leave my hometown. So that was him being a leader, saying, "Hey, I got to lead." And let's be clear: if you read your Bible, you understand Sodom and Gomorrah, and when dude said, "Hey man, we got to leave. Don't look back."
Right.
And wifey look back, pillar of salt. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, it's not knocking women. It's not a knock to say you can't lead. The whole point is, man, it's your job to find a great leader so you can say, hey, man, I salute this dude. Because, in the Bible, there's nowhere in the Bible where it says a woman's supposed to love her husband. It says she's supposed to honor and obey him, because y'all got issues with that sometimes.
And let's be clear, too. I mean, the woman is a rock
Facts.
of the family, too.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
But let's be clear. But also for men, we got to understand that we're supposed to love you like God loved the church, because sometimes we got issue with that. We can get selfish and get hard on them. You know what I'm saying? So for us, we got to love. You guys got to honor, because our currency is respect. When's the last time any of the women that are watching this show have told their husband or their boyfriend, hey, man, I respect you? If you said that, he'd be like, man, what you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? You to charge me up. But we say, oh, I love you. We like, you know, I love you too. Because that's not our currency. Our currency is respect. That's why us three right here, even you included, TBS, we respect each other, man. 20 plus years. We don't agree with everything, but we got respect for each other.
So
Absolutely.
I should physically say that I respect him, or should I
100%.
show it?
No,
Both.
say it.
Why not both?
Say
Okay,
it.
this
But
is something new for me because I show it. I don't necessarily
no, you gotta
speak
say it. You gotta say
And
it
I
all
will
the time.
say too, Les, to that point too, showing it is still a very important value. But sometimes hearing it as a man, like it makes us feel like we doing the right thing. You
And
know
let's
what I'm
be
saying?
clear,
So,
men still want desire too.
yeah.
Like women think, oh, I just want desire. No, men want it too.
No, we definitely want it shown though too. I mean, don't sleep.
Facts.
I mean, I need I need that respect displayed as well. I got to
Mm-hmm.
see it. But yeah, it's nice to hear it every once in a while too. You ain't got to say it every day when you get up, but kind of when praying at night, you talking about what you're thankful for. Just say, I'm thankful for my husband, or I'm thankful for whomever.
You know,
what
Dr.
I'm
Claude
saying?
Anderson. Go ahead, bro.
Shout out
No,
to
I
Dr.
was just
Clark.
saying that's usually like appreciated, from a man's
yeah.
perspective.
I was going to say, Dr. Claude Anderson, he infamously stated years ago that we as blacks are an exceptional people. And it's really our job to live up to that level of exceptionalism and to realize that we got. We ultimately are all we got, considering all of the factors that we just spoke of and many others that we didn't get the chance to address. We all we got. And once that assignment is understood, we've each got our respective roles as male and female to undergo really in full fruition. That'll better our dynamics as not only couples, but as a community eventually. And that part falls where following a right standing and successful value system is followed in place. So when it comes to, my fellow black males, we need more leaders in you to take charge of our just really leading those of us who desire a holistic and cultural
And that's where
society.
some of us have fell off. That's
Right.
if it's one
Now-
thing that we need to hold ourselves more accountable for as men, is leadership, because that's
Right,
where we
right.
fell off big time there.
Big time.
Big
and,
time.
And stop always leaning toward, the teachers and priests and such, which that's fine. That's totally fine. But nowadays the leader is the man in the mirror in this case. You know what I'm saying? So you have,
and let's
what it
be
takes as
clear.
well, but
The elders have checked out. They're done.
that's true.
The elders
That's
are
true.
done. You can't
That's
go
true.
to an elder and ask them for advice for the most part anymore.
That is true.
They are basically like, they got Netflix now. I can watch all the movies now. So I'm about to watch all the movies. They're not
Right.
going to church no more. They don't care about us no more. At the
Right.
end of the day, man, like you have to basically read that Bible. If you're a woman
100%.
watching this show,
Yep.
because this is a woman-based platform, I encourage you to go on Amazon right now, cop that 12 women of the Bible study guide. It's so much
Yeah,
powerful
it is
stuff
dope.
in there.
That's
you
dope.
learn about Abigail and what she did, even though she left her husband and went with with David. But still, she told her husband, "Hey man, don't mess with that dude." But long story short, at the end of the day, that 12 women of the Bible study guide off the chain. My mom, man, she's an avid reader. So my sister, they always put me up on game, and so a lot of time people.
Salute to Miss Linda and India.
Come on, man. Come on, Miss Linda, hold it down.
Absolutely.
And D.
Yeah.
They always put me up on a lot of game, man. And a lot of game comes from our women. That's what we learn. Our game is men. And then we basically multiply it because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, like it goes back to what J. Camp said. We got to be more responsible as men by picking better women. Salute to J. Camp because he did that. And he's receiving the fruits of those seeds. At the end of the day, me and B-Boy are still working on those things. And at the end of the day, I think Bebo's gonna find either one or a couple of Jamaican women that's gonna make him happy.
He can be a concubine.
Stop.
And
Stop with the bumble clock.
and to me, I think it's
Yeah,
salute to Kevin
stop.
Samuel, salute to
Yes,
Claude
yes.
Anderson,
Yeah.
Van Zant,
Yana Van Zant,
Shahrazad Ali, all the dudes that are in like.
Bruce O'Neal
Let's
and
be
all
clear, we hear a lot of red pill nowadays. Red pill's not always negative. It's really just men just understand that, hey man, I gotta step up. I got to understand what's going on, and it starts with me first. Then it starts with me assessing and vetting my woman, because at the end of the day, if you care about legacy, it starts with who you pick. That's the most political. That's the most political thing a man will ever do, is to pick who he's supposed to be with. So when you see somebody with somebody suspect,
So
saying a
speaking
lot.
about,
well, if I could finish though,
Yeah, yeah,
right
no,
before
go
right before
ahead.
you go there, that's not where I landed up only. I did speak about where else could compromise. Now let's talk about the women, because you wanted both, and I feel like they have much more work to do in their own regard. Respectfully, but and I say that because there's more weapons against our culture that have been and continue to serve against the betterment of Black men and families that kind of flows through them or to them, and it has been that way. Again, we talked about some of those examples, but overall, we just got to have a focus toward that transformation that's going to lead us in a positive direction. So yeah, I'll land that there. Go ahead, TBS Les.
no, believe me, I'm loving, man, y'all dropping a lot of gems. I'm learning a lot as far as how to manage my marriage, and I'm sure this discussion is great. And we got a lot going on in the comments section. Speaking of, and I, respectfully moving on,
Respectfully.
Absolutely, is respectful.
because I don't want to take all y'all time. Women, you guys talk about choosing or finding a woman, and so we want to get chose. And we right now, the whole BBL and the long eyelashes, we love it, and and makeup, we like it. We think it makes us look good, makes us look chosen. Do you guys like the BBL? I mean, I've heard some people, a lot of guys don't like it. If so, why not?
Because we're not really getting to know the real you on both, really just on the physical level. We're just meeting your visual representative. And I know what you mean when you what's oftentimes said by, like, say, enhancements of that nature.
You saying like doppelganger, like we meeting the doppelganger?
Basically, yeah. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with makeup, eyeliner, things of that nature, to bring out and highlight certain anatomical qualities about you. But we're not interested in going through a Jack Spade and Cherry experience from I'm gonna get you some, where her eye color, hair, back and front
This
ends
wig?
and left leg were fake.
it's really not my wig.
And this leg?
Yeah.
Ain't mine either. It ain't mine.
Yeah, caught the wig and try to step on it.
But I mean,
Look at the time.
like your boy, I like big butts, and I can't not lie.
Well, hold on.
But you know what?
Let's go back a little bit. So
ahead.
remember back in the day, there was "I'll give you the sun, the moon, the stars, and the mountains." That's what we used to. We used to basically give all the women all the swag they needed.
Yep.
They're not getting the swag no more because they don't really want it. So when they say R&B is dead, yeah, because women killed it. Because they don't want men telling them that they fine. They want their girlfriends to tell them that they fine. So, oh, girl, we're doing a girls trip to go down to Dominican Republic to get a BBLs together. Let's go. Yeah, girl, let's go. Hey, we get our lashes done. Let's go together. Yeah, girl, let's go. It's a herd mentality nowadays. So I don't care about a man anymore telling me that I'm beautiful. I want to know that I'm beautiful, then also my friends think I'm beautiful. So most women will say, my friends have the okay to do before I date them. So it goes into beauty standards as well. Like we don't have Victoria's Secret angels no more because bigger women got mad. So we gotta get rid of that. We gotta get rid of that. We gotta get rid of all this stuff. But this is beauty. This fake stuff. But the first thing they say about a man is I want him to be honest and real.
And he has to be a 6-figure guy or something like that.
So again, the BBLs, going back to what Bebo was saying, if you even go back to like hip hop videos back in the day, like I used to watch Big Pun videos, and they always have like classic women in the videos.
Yep.
A
Natural.
cup, B cup,
Yep.
little body, but it was shaped nice.
Yep.
But the whole thing is with some women, when Cardi B kind of stepped up and Kim Kardashian changed the model of
Nicki
what a woman should look like,
Minaj,
Nicki
too.
popped up too. But Nicki was honestly just let's be clear, she's a carbon copy of Lil Kim.
She is.
She's the real queen. Let's be clear. But at the end of the day, when Kim started changing her body, because Kim was beautiful when she
she
didn't have no
was.
surgery.
Fine.
But you see what the cause and effect is. It goes back to the chest situation. When you do that stuff to your body, you're putting a foreign substance in your body. Even if you're doing a fat transfer, it's still not really you. So again, it's like me rolling up in a 2000 or in a '05 Corolla, and I put Lamborghini badges on it and roll up thinking I'm hot.
Or you in a Chrysler 300?
I'm in a
You
Chrysler
put
300 and I think I'm hot
put
till I
that
land with
Bentley-
the Bentleys.
with the Bentley kit on it.
And you're like, hold on, I've been around real Bentleys, bro. I know what a real Bentley is. This ain't
Right.
real. So would you
Right.
respect a man with a fake Bentley? That's how we look at the BBLs. We rather you have a pancake butt that can cooperate, that can work with us, that you know at least a couple Bible verses. You anointed a little bit, so
Yeah,
we can make this
pancake
thing
cheese.
happen. I can't do nothing with that little bumblebee joint you got on.
Not the
Yeah,
bumblebee.
You got all that silicone.
Yeah, you for the
Yeah, ain't-
streets.
I
And
mean,
men are-
Art
and-
said it. The BBLs for the streets.
Yeah,
It is. It's for the
Ironically,
streets.
some
Right.
women, well, thousands look
Thousands
good
look on the outside, but
on the
behave ugly.
outside, but behave ugly on the inside.
Well, it just goes to show.
Hold on, real quick, Bebo, before you go in.
Go ahead.
It's not even the BBLs. It's the weaves. It's the wigs. It's unbelievable.
I mean,
That's all the above,
sometimes
really.
we like to switch it up.
But this is the thing, though. Is your beauty like? Don't get me wrong. I know men who literally all day long tell their woman they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, they're sweet, they're loving, but they want other people to say it.
Yep.
So are you focusing on pleasing your husband, or your significant other, or the world, or your?
Well, I mean,
orbiter?
it's like validation.
But again, if you basically focusing on your husband or God, do you really need the validation of the world?
Facts.
But society
gotta
knows if I
acquire
put that mirror to you, you're gonna go crazy with it. And you're gonna be in Target buying the nail and hair pills and all the shampoo and conditioner you can find up in that joint.
But
and
that
all
goes
the makeup
back
and
to the
Sephora.
whole
It
fabrication.
goes back
of what
into
we
it. If
talked
you read the
about.
Bible, it's already in there.
They want you to think that you have to look like that. It's just the whole fabrication step. Not to say that, putting on some lipstick, some eye, looking good when we step out, that's cool. But when you start adding cheeks and, you know what I'm saying, like you got your waist this size, but then
Waist trainer on. Yeah.
yeah, it's like then.
And
you
this thing,
wake up one
this
day,
ain't no shots and no BBWs. We like, hey, there's men who love BBWs.
there's
You know what I'm saying?
Plenty.
It ain't no BBW. It's how you rock it. You know what I'm saying?
It's how you flex with it.
So you can
100%.
still be a little overweight. BBP like a little cushion for the push. You know what I mean?
Stop.
Hey.
No.
You know what I mean?
Stop.
So we ain't knocking that at all.
Speak for yourself.
Bebo P, he wants
for
that
yourself.
one
He
cheek
want that
this
good.
way.
Yeah. He want that
wants
level
one
up.
cheek.
He want that level up. You know,
He
that's
don't-
what we call
That
it.
It
one
don't matter for him.
Stop.
He ain't picky when it comes to that.
Stop it.
But this thing,
Yeah.
India speaking facts though. Like women are all about attention, but this is the whole thing. If the foxes and the wolves know that, they gonna go hard in the paint.
They go,
with
man, they
that.
smell
They gonna
blood in
go
the water.
overly with attention.
A
with
shark will smell blood in the water.
a drop of water,
Yeah.
a drop
That's
of blood,
when-
and 1,000 liters of water.
How many times we got to say it? That's when you end up with the Nick Cannon. That dude's a shark. There's plenty of sharks out there like him. They smell blood in the water.
And I think the question comes down to, how do you want to get chose? And what do you want to get chose for? You know, if you're for the streets and you know you're tatted up all over the place and you got
Glorilla.
the BBLs, hey,
F R
you
E
know,
G E P. Do you know what that means, man?
hey,
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Hey, yo,
yeah, but
I caught my daughter singing that song, humming
Uh-oh,
it, and
uh-oh,
she's
uh-oh.
9 years old. I'm
She
oh
better
boy,
get kicked out the house
a
already.
man
oh boy,
already.
Eviction notice.
man, yeah,
At
but you know that.
9.
What you freeing yourself from? Okay.
Well, like,
Well,
let's
again,
go.
but this is again. What's the premise? What's the premise of that song? I don't need no man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what's the universal language? It's
But
always music.
that started with no scrubs, like
Right.
TLC and
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, Destiny Child. They started all that, like when it
Yep.
just went viral.
This is the thing, TBS. If you tell somebody, "Hey, I'm happily married and I'm a kept woman," they're like, "Ugh, you're gross."
They would.
If you say, "I'm out here getting it out the mud. I got a Nissan Sentra. I got the my son's a King starter kit." You know what I'm
And I
saying?
was twerking with She-Hulk. I was out here
I'm
twerking like She-Hulk.
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
They're like, yeah,
She-Hulk.
Les is a real one. She's a real one. She getting out the mud. So it's like they want you want me to struggle. You salute me when I struggle, but when I'm in my feminine, when I'm feminine, friendly, and nice, you don't like me. So of course, if you have a herd mentality, why would you want that? When your friends are going to look down upon you because you got a husband.
When you say Heard, you mean Amber Heard. Is that what you're saying?
Here it comes. Here it comes.
To the bottom of the bottle.
Oh man. I
RX
men are-
says Morgan
Google it.
Stanley report
And Morgan
calls
Stanley
it
is
the she
respected.
economy. Women
Shout
buy
out RX,
76% of all stuff. Man, facts. No us
U.S.
GOP.
GDP without women.
women.
So
Stuff
again,
they don't
is
need.
this push on women being wonderful and independent? Is it about really you or about that economy and money? Because y'all spending 76%.
I mean, sometimes we're forced to pay it. Depending
But
on
what's
the
forcing
situation.
you? What's forcing you though? Less diggity. Talk to us.
Well, we don't have nobody to help us.
Well, but why is that?
Talk to us. Less diggity.
I mean, again, we black men have been at the table. We said that several minutes
Again,
ago.
this is us sitting at the table saying stuff. and you
we're
keep
gonna
on
come with
scooting back.
solutions.
Y'all
We're
keep
gonna
on
come with some
scooting back with
solutions.
it.
I mean,
the whole goal
like
is to
the
come with
old
solutions, the
saying
next step.
goes, I can do bad all by myself.
Well,
That's what's happening. That's
there
really
you
what's
have
happening.
that. There
So
you have
again,
that.
that's why our community is lacking, because at the end of the day, if a woman makes 100,000, what's she bringing to the community?
Yeah, because when you get with a real dude, he ain't gonna tell you to spend 76% of your bread.
Exactly.
On travel,
hence the reason why they want to
beauty,
keep
Yeah.
the
and
division in our
$1,000
culture.
wig. If you guys haven't saw Chris Rock's hair documentary, please watch that tonight. It's free on YouTube. Watch that hair documentary by Chris Rock to see how much money
We spend a lot.
our women spend on hair, not even beauty products, just hair.
Yeah.
So
I mean, RX says at Nick Cannon, why aren't women held accountable for choosing fractured families? Side piece of a king or wife of a I can't read.
Plebeian.
Plebeian.
he went to Catholic school.
Man.
We hope
Is
y'all
it
are
really
enjoying
on
this.
us though? For picking the fractured family?
When women pick who gets sex. Women pick who gets birth, because you can get a termination or you can keep it.
Why can't it be we both made?
If I told my
decision.
girlfriend, hey man, you need to take care of that for $300, she'll say, no, it's mine. It's my decision because it's my body. That's the whole point of everybody marching. Is it's my body. So that means you make the decisions on who gets birth and who doesn't.
Go
I'll
ahead,
say
But
Les.
it
this.
takes
No,
two
go
to
ahead.
tango,
Come to
though.
the
I mean, go
table.
in.
Well,
It
Come to the
takes
table and
two to
sit down.
tango.
well, but
But
the
this
thing
thing, but you
is,
pick the guy to tango with.
right, and the nice guy already made that attempt at least once, if not a few or several times. How many times is somebody supposed to, like here's the thing, if you're the perpetrator, whoever you is, and you're saying, hey,
Perpetrator.
we both need to fix my situation, that person doesn't necessarily need to is one who messed up the room. You know what I'm saying? If he does, great, but if not, hey, he didn't cause the mess.
It's
So
basically what J. Camp said about the whole accountability thing. You're basically saying it's not my thing. It should be both ours, even though I'm the one in the driver's seat.
we got to, yeah, it just goes to show we've got to stop this whole it's on both of us, when in actuality it's been one perpetrator, whatever the circumstance is. We've got to really just get down to brass tacks, and that's another thing that's about accountability.
And I always tell you, Les, when we have our conversations, do you ever see women marching to be wives? Do you see women marching for men's rights? Do they advocate a mandatory paternity test?
So,
Because you always see men marching for women's rights, right? We do that.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
there's some sprinkled in, yeah.
So at the end of the day, because we understand the woman is a part of our community.
Hey,
I've driven around my city and I see black women with black women support black women, but it's not black people, it's black women. So a lot of women see themselves, black women see themselves as their own identity. They're not a part of the black community. They're diversing to other situations. They don't want to be black anymore. They don't want to deal with Pookie and Ray Ray, and then they can't get Malcolm up here making 250 because he already has a wife, or he's basically dating women in 50 women in each one woman in 50 states. So because he's got options. So since I can't get Gaston, I'm just gonna be independent.
One extreme or the other is typically what happens.
I don't want the blue collar guy that will love me to
yeah,
death.
that's the vodka and cranberry shoddy doing that. The juke joint shoddy.
Again, we sitting at the table wanting to work with you, but women keep on scooting back a little bit, saying, "Nah, I still want this, and I ain't coming to the table unless I get this." And this is the thing, we're not blaming solely women. It's the messaging that they're getting, and they're multiplying it in vacuums at the house. Because nobody says, "Hey, Lessa, you're wrong for that," or "Lessa, you don't go." Well, I'm not saying you don't go, but a woman like you would say, "Hey, man, I grew up in the church. I know the Bible. This ain't right. This Beyonce record, church girl twerking. This ain't right. Why are we not boycott? Why are women not? Why are Christian women boycotting that album? Because they really like it on the low. Or I want to say Tony said this, or Brenda said this on the last video. We'll remix it and make it a nice song.
Koofy Chronicles. That's what's up right there. I mean,
Gonna
that's
put
real
the-
talk.
You can't remix the serpent. It's the
Right.
serpent.
Yep.
Koof to Davis.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost like we're talking about apples and oranges. How can you speak about rights of birthing a child versus a song that's on the radio?
It's the seed that plants you to think that you can do that on your own.
True.
And this is the thing, let's be clear. Anything with two heads is a monster. So you can't say I'm gonna do this and still do this on the weekday and do this on the weekend. And what Rashad is basically saying, the husband story is basically a story where there's levels to it, and you keep going up, you get more things. And so the wife goes into the husband's store wanting more, and then at the end of the story, they don't get anything because they keep on. It's called a hypergamism, hypergamy, where you always want more. So this thing, when have you talked to one of your girlfriends on the phone and you say, "Hey girl, how you doing?" She goes, "Man, everything's perfect. Nothing's wrong."
I mean, that's perfect. That's
Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. I got my
I
my
mean, we're talking
husband's at
about
work.
life.
My kids are healthy. They'll find something to say that I need something. This thing, if women today said, "Hey, I'm cool. I got my husband. Jay Kemp's in the building. We good. Kids is good. Man, I don't need to go to Target. I'm good. I don't need to go to Costco and spend $300. I'm good." You know how many stores were shut down? And then the thing of it is,
Exactly.
women don't understand how much power they really have. They're only using a little bit of it. There's so much wisdom that women have that men are like, man, like if I had that's why in the Bible it says if you get a woman that's a wife off the rip, and let's be clear, a wife is before you meet her. You have a wife mentality before you meet the man. So when a man meets you, he's gonna say you either fun or I'm gonna take you seriously. But again, you said girls just want to have fun. So that's why men say, you know what? Bang him. I'm banging this one.
That's when Future's out there.
Yeah.
With them Gucci flip flops.
I just in some Gucci flip flops. Again, this is why they pushing more of those FRET instead of those UNITY.
Yep.
It's a unity.
Mhm.
They don't want you doing that, man, because if
They ain't
women
pushing
on
the
if
Rhapsodies.
the black women on cold, black men on cold, we take this whole thing over. Let's be
Right.
clear. That's why they burned down the Black Wall Street, man. Again, if we get on the same page, it's a problem.
It's over.
It
It's
really
over.
is.
It's
If you
over.
put black people of America
Yo,
on a financial level, we're the 11th wealthiest country in the
Again.
world.
once we learn to compromise and sacrifice, it's a Rizzo. It's a wrap.
There's money to keeping us separated, man, because that means there's 2 car notes, there's 2 house notes, there's 2 bills, it's everything, man. You got probably two baby car seats because now y'all separated.
Exactly.
They got us early in the early 2000s, making us think we need spinner rims. They got y'all thinking y'all need Sephora, Ulta, and Target and Costco on the weekend.
And adding cheeks.
But if a woman say, you know what, there's more value in being with Jay Kemp than me spending money to get all these enhancements to go to the club and try to get a baller.
Yeah.
There's more money in the long run. This is the thing. And shout out to Jay Camp's wife. When Jay Camp's wife got with Jamar, she hit the lottery because he's going to work every day for her. If she says, man, I'm tired, I don't want to work no more. He said, I got you. Go sit at the crib and just chill out. I got you.
Did he win the lottery?
He hit the lottery too, but in a different way.
Yeah, I
because
did.
he's got to work still. She can sit in her femininity. If you look at those Greek goddesses, those paintings, the women ain't working. They sitting down butt naked, eat some grapes. A woman's supposed to be in her femininity. So the whole thing is the devil makes everything the opposite. Bad is good, good is bad. So I make a male a female, female a male. Got you. Now you're doing stuff that ain't even natural. You wearing a leather jacket and goofy boots, trying to be Jodeci.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. So again, we're not
Hilarious.
knocking the women. We love you guys. We support you guys. We just at the table and we want to negotiate with you. That's all it is, man.
We just want to eat together.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we know we're gonna eat more if we sit down at the table together at the end of the day.
Exactly. That spaghetti gonna taste a little better.
Because I got
Spice
some seeds.
King.
I got the Spice King.
That
Gonna
Spice
get you
King.
right.
Right.
on the
Spice
sandwich
King
is
gonna
gonna
get
taste,
you right.
gonna taste a little
Shout
better
out to
last we
Spice
come
King.
to the table.
Yeah, man, y'all got some men over here with people outside their race not getting no seasoning, no Lowry's.
I can't. Well, fellas, I know you guys got some things to do this evening. And I definitely want to thank you for coming on to The Sweet Life and sharing your opinion, sharing facts. And, ultimately my goal always is to educate and empower everyone to make the best wise choice.
Well, shout out to you too, Les, for being gracious.
Shout out to the platform. The
Time.
platform's crazy. And y'all not
For-
subbing and hitting
for
that
sub.
like button. Come on, man. Y'all
And
hating.
just for being a listener. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't like, nah, that ain't, you wasn't doing none of that. You allowed Iceberg to have his red pill clean out in his hand at all times. You know what I'm saying? You allow Bebo P to be rude. Nah, just kidding. No,
Ah,
Yeah, he is
but you,
rude, man. Come on,
you
man.
was
This
you
dude
you
is
was
rude.
gracious though. You was
oh,
gracious. So
Yeah,
we
gracious
definitely got to
rude dude.
give you your flowers first of all for allowing us to be on your platform and to be able to do what
Facts.
we do. Appreciate that.
and
So
for your role
real
as a
talk.
wife as well. You know,
Exactly,
We gave
exactly.
Jit Camp his flowers as a husband. We got to give you your
Man,
flowers in that
salute the
regard too.
lesson.
So,
And I implemented
salute.
something that I learned from TBS. The whole journal where we were thankful. I implemented that in my family. We do that every night now when we go to bed.
Bars.
So I
Bars.
That's what's
salute you,
up.
TBS, for that. And that's something that's been a hit with my family. So I
Good.
learned that from you.
Bars.
So before we get out, any last minute comments?
We just hope that you guys got something out of tonight's show and will take at least one, if not more, one piece of information for the benefit of you, your family, somebody that you know, in order to keep things moving in a forward direction for our people. Again, we're not at the table to continue some gender war. That's over with. Uh, you know, we love Black women and we know that you love us. So let's make it happen and thrive in our community and our culture.
Absolutely. And man, salute to the people that was just tapping in. You know, Brand,
Yes, yes,
India,
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
RX,
KB.
Rashad, KB,
KB. You in
everybody, man.
19, man?
Appreciate y'all for tapping in.
Yeah,
Y'all definitely dropped gems. You know, this has been a learning session for everybody today. So I appreciate it. Again, thank you, TBS, for allowing us to utilize this
thank you.
platform to
Thank you
learn.
for the
That's the
invite.
biggest thing, to learn and to
Yes,
work together. The unity, just like India said, that
right,
UNITY.
right,
That's what this whole thing is about. Coming together, making sure we keep Black folks in the forefront and we don't get left behind. Because these are interesting times, and that's what we don't want.
right.
Last thing
Exactly.
for me, man, is just try to find you a good church. Try if you can't find one, read that Bible. Find somebody on YouTube that you can listen to.
About to say nowadays, sometimes it's hard to find a good church because they
Yeah.
ain't talking
So
about
I
the
mean,
family either. That's a whole
find
nother conversation.
find you somebody dope on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
The other thing, man, therapy is dope. Find you good therapists. You know, Black people don't like therapy, but therapy is good. If you can't find a therapist, can't afford it, find you a good friend and just talk to them. I get to talk to J Camp and Bebo P every day. They're my therapists. I get to talk to them about problems and we figure things out as a collective. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is if you can go buy that 12 Women of the Bible study guide, if you're a woman, even if you're a man, because you want to understand your woman better. To me, it's our
Well,
job too to understand our women. And to me, like, hey, if you understand your woman, man, you got like you really have a
absolutely.
gym. You got a gym in a wonderful woman. Shout out to TT too, man. You know
TT
what I'm
as
saying all
well.
day.
And
You
I
know
would
what I mean?
say, you know, if you're in a relationship, definitely pick up their love
Braver.
languages
Yep.
and never be afraid to seek counseling. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
If you in a marriage and
Yeah.
things just ain't cooking, do not be afraid to seek counseling, please. I mean, I recommend it. Seek
Mhm.
counseling because you never know. Just again, when you come to the table and you just kind of get things out there, there's help out there for you. Like
It
don't
is.
think that you got to go through it individually or by yourself. Seek counseling.
Mhm.
All right.
And this last thing too, as a woman, find you a good group of women because when you find them, like again, the women you had on before, India,
They killed it.
Janetta, Tony,
They killed it.
Christy, Brin, am I missing somebody? They cooked. If you haven't seen
I
that
learned
episode,
something,
they cooked
man.
in there. And they had their
We was
peppermints
just
ready. They
tapped
had their
in,
peppermints ready to
man.
go with them white gloves.
The
They
Ursher, you
cooked.
know what I'm saying? The Ursher was coming in,
The Irish.
cooking with the
And don't ask for
fan.
no change neither. We ain't got no
Girl,
change. Just give the
whoo,
whole 20. Get the
she
whole
preaching
twomp. Don't
tonight.
be trying to say I want 515 back. Get the whole twomp.
Right, throw a
Man,
dub in there.
Yeah, throw that dub. But no, like I said, man,
marching in the church, marching up in
again,
there.
Right,
thanks for the conversation,
We
TBS. Your
definitely
platform is
appreciate
dope,
you.
man. You
Thank
know,
y'all.
absolutely.
Thank y'all.
it's definitely a
Been
second home for us.
fun.
Yeah, and you have not seen the last of us regarding
Nah,
similar
man.
topics.
We may
course.
come back with some women on you. We may come back with some women. You know what I
Right.
mean?
We might come back with
I
Glozilla.
am
You never know.
praying that y'all
we might
do
get
come
Glozilla
back with
on.
some women. Matter of fact, not women, a wife. We just
We
gonna
do that.
speak that out. Okay.
We get that popping. You know,
Iron, that was a hard breath out.
you know. We might have to have some bulletproof vests. You know what I'm saying? We talking about doing that. You know what I'm saying? Might get real up in here.
We definitely appreciate you, Les, for the invite once again, and we appreciate y'all for listening to us, soaking in the gems,
Hit the like button and all that,
sharing
you know,
sharing your statements and comments. Shout out to y'all.
This is the thing. If TBS don't deserve at least $5 from everybody that came through,
man,
please, up to $5.
If you can give $5, you know, if you give the
holla,
you know the money that we love the money that jingles, but we rather have the money that folds. You know what I'm saying?
You know how the church secretary do when she get up and say, you know, just give what you have.
Just give what you have. You know,
the church is in need.
Give what the Lord put on your heart.
The church is in need.
Give what the Lord put on your heart.
If you got $2 in your purse and a peppermint stick, the Lord will accept
not
that.
With the peppermint stick.
And the peppermint stick. Yes. Yes.
We rather have the money that folds, not the money that jingles.
Right. About the money that folds.
Again,
it's a Black awareness rally. You know what I'm saying?
That's before the plate.
I know the trash can.
Third time.
Fact.
Yeah. That boy's good. TBS is good.
I'm like,
okay.
Donations.
Y'all.
I thought it was a trash can. Oh, are you Clarence? Black mouth, tall black mouth.
Y'all on a roll tonight.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be cool
So
with y'all at 10:30.
Yeah, no.
I might have to check my deuce.
thank y'all. Cheers again to you guys. Cheers to unity.
Unity.
you and I,
again, let's all come to the table, as you guys said so eloquently. I thank you guys, fam. See you tomorrow. We're going to talk about
Mañana.
soft life. Some of you may not know what that is. We'll talk about what it is, how people aren't per se living the soft life in the way that it was meant to be. But we're going to get into all of that. Thank you guys again. Hit that subscribe button, the bell button, so you'll be notified when I get on tomorrow. And have a wonderful evening. Again, thank you guys. You are everything to us. We hope that you gained something from this, that you've opened your mind a little bit from some of the comments and facts that were thrown out today. Mm-hmm. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you guys later.
Mañana.
Peace.
Salute.
Much love.
That's got a kimono on.
Looking like Michelle Obama.
When they go low, we go high.
We go high.